It began as a celebration of life. A warm afternoon in May, pink balloons drifting above a backyard filled with laughter, family, and sunlight. Marcus Grant stood at the grill, smoke curling past his smile. Inside the house, his wife, Elise, moved gracefully through the guests, radiant in her yellow maternity dress. In every photo, she was the picture of joy. In every caption, a promise. After the storm, the sun returns. But no one photographs the shadows, and sometimes the storm never really ends. Marcus and Elise were the couple everyone envied. 7 years of marriage, countless hardships, and finally, the miracle they had prayed for, a child. For Marcus, a firefighter raised on discipline and sacrifice, fatherhood was the final reward for a life spent helping others. Marcus Grant was the man you call when the smoke is too thick to see, a firefighter with a steady jaw, a yes sir discipline, and a reputation for running toward the flames. Elise, bright, social, irresistible in any room, sold homes for a living and dreams for free. Together, they were a picture frame people pointed to. That's what I want. For Elise, it was proof that pain could give birth to purpose. They had met in 2015, a charity gala, a borrowed spark between strangers who didn't believe in coincidence. Marcus was quiet, reliable, the man who stayed calm when the world burned. Elise was energy and motion, southern charm wrapped in laughter. They balanced each other, stone and flame. Within a year, they were married. From the outside, it was a love story written in capital letters, but behind the curtains, another narrative whispered. The miscarriages began in 2018, 2 in total, both devastating. Every doctor visit, every sleepless night, carved distance where closeness used to be. Marcus, ever the optimist, believed time could heal everything. Elise, ever the realist, knew time sometimes only reminds you what you've lost. Their house grew quieter after each loss. He would fix the nursery again and again, repainting hope onto drywall. She would stand in the doorway, unable to cross the threshold. By the time she saw 2 pink lines in early 2022, relief felt almost foreign. This time would be different. It had to be. For a few months, it was. Marcus threw himself into fatherhood before it began. Assembling cribs, folding baby clothes, talking to the belly like it already understood him. Elise smiled, but the smile didn't always reach her eyes. She loved him. Of that she was certain. But something inside her felt unfinished. The miscarriages hadn't just taken babies, they had taken belief. And when belief leaves, love struggles to breathe. Late at night, she'd sit alone in the nursery, palm pressed against her stomach, wondering whether Marcus still saw her or only the promise she carried. He was planning for a family. She was trying to remember who she was. Loneliness has a way of sneaking in dressed as routine. Enter Jared Thomas, 29, Elise's cousin, by family but not by familiarity. He'd always been the charming one, a magnet for attention, the storyteller who could make silence laugh. When he arrived a week before the baby shower, no one thought twice. Family helps family. Marcus welcomed him with the same open-handed kindness that defined him. Elise welcomed him with gratitude and relief. For once, someone in the house saw her instead of the baby bump. Jared had that effect. He made people feel visible, even when they shouldn't be. The days before the baby shower blurred together in preparation. Banners, gifts, playlists, and long evenings arranging decorations. Marcus worked late at the firehouse, leaving Jared and Elise to finish details. One night bled into another. Conversations stretched longer. Wine glasses emptied slower. No one planned for it, not consciously, But connection doesn't always ask permission. Elise hadn't laughed that freely in months. Jared hadn't meant to cross a line until he did. It started with proximity, the kind that hides behind excuses, reaching for the same roll of tape, fixing the same string of lights. Then a glance, then a touch that lingered 1 second too long. Marcus never saw it coming. He noticed the change. Yes, the way Elise checked her phone a little too often, the quick silences when he walked into a room. But love makes us blind to the evidence that breaks us. He believed stress was to blame. He believed love was enough. He believed a lie he didn't know existed. The morning of May 13th, 2023 broke clear and warm. The Grants' backyard glittered in sunlight. Marcus manned the grill, laughter echoing around him. Elise floated through the crowd, every gesture graceful, every smile rehearsed. Jared filmed her on his phone, joking that she'd break the internet with that glow. She laughed, but it caught in her throat. That afternoon should have been perfect. Instead, it became prophecy. As the party swelled, Marcus couldn't shake a low thrum of unease. Something in the way Elise moved, smiling without warmth, eyes always drifting toward Jared, felt wrong. He told himself he was imagining it. That suspicion was cruelty disguised as caution. But intuition isn't polite. It whispers until you listen. Near sunset, he stepped inside to fetch more drinks. The laughter outside faded into a distant hum. Inside, the house felt heavy, the air thicker than it should have been. A faint sound floated down the hallway. Soft laughter, not the kind shared in groups, but the kind traded between two people who shouldn't be sharing it. He followed it, each step slower than the last. The sound led to the downstairs bathroom. He paused, knocked once. Silence, then a shuffle, a whisper, and the unmistakable sound of a zipper. The door creaked open. There are moments so sharp they slice through time. Marcus Grant, husband, firefighter, protector, opened that door and watched his life end in silence. Elise, half-dressed, eyes wide. Jared, shirt unbuttoned, guilt frozen mid-motion. 3 seconds. That's all it took for 7 years to dissolve. Elise tried to speak, but the air between them had already hardened. Jared muttered something, an apology or an excuse. Marcus couldn't tell. All he heard was the ringing in his ears. The human mind can only hold so much shock before it breaks. Marcus stumbled back into the kitchen, the sound of laughter outside now mocking him. His hands shook as he opened a drawer, fingers brushing the cold edge of a kitchen knife. He didn't think, he reacted. Pain needed a target, and Jared was still standing. When he returned to the hallway, the man who had once sworn to protect was now the man who would destroy. The argument was short, the violence shorter. Neighbors later said they heard a single scream, then glass shattering. Inside, the chaos was biblical. By the time sirens cut through the laughter outside, 2 lives had ended in different ways. Jared's, literally. Elise's, spiritually. Paramedics arrived to find Elise bleeding, clutching her stomach, whispering prayers for the baby. Marcus sat motionless, hands crimson, eyes hollow. "I loved her," he muttered again and again, as if love could rewind time. The baby was delivered hours later. A boy, alive despite everything. A miracle born of madness. Marcus was charged with second-degree murder. Elise survived, but the woman who left the hospital was not the same one who had entered. She buried Jared quietly. She visited Marcus once, then never again. In court, she testified through tears, admitting to the affair that set the tragedy in motion. Marcus confessed. The jury deliberated less than a day. Guilty, 35 years in prison. Here's the power shift you felt coming, but still weren't ready to watch. The man who saved strangers from burning buildings couldn't save himself from the fire he lit. When the sentence landed, Elise folded where she stood. Body and history finally too heavy. They carried her out. Marcus stared at the table where the knife had been displayed like a museum piece. You could almost hear the frame of their perfect picture buckle. Justice, they said, had been served. But justice is rarely that simple. Marcus lost his freedom, Elise lost her future, and a newborn child inherited both their ghosts. In true crime archives, we don't chase villains. We trace choices, the quiet ones that rot beneath the perfect photos, the ones that whisper before they scream. Elise now lives under her maiden name in North Carolina, raising the son who carries his father's eyes. Marcus writes letters he never sends. Every line begins the same way. I loved you, Elise. Some nights he imagines her reading them. Most nights he knows she never will. And just when the world began to forget, something surfaced that refused to stay buried. Justice today looks like a sentence served and a child sleeping through dawn. But stories like this have echoes, and echoes know how to find walls. Like, comment, and follow if you want part 2 the moment it drops, because the recovered clip is only half the shake. The other half? A late-night voicemail Elise never heard, flagged by the phone company after the trial, and delivered with an apology. A man's voice again, same tone as the nursery. After the party, he repeats, we make sure he doesn't open any more doors. Who is he? Who walked in 6 minutes and walked out with the rest of the story? And if the house of the Grants burned down in one afternoon, who'd been playing with matches all week?